Mill Army 455. I am making this video just to show you guys how to get prestiges done and over with quickly or as quick as possible. Um, Now, there is one way to do it really fast and one way to do it almost just as fast. So I'll be going over the second way. But the first way is to have an alt character who's pretty much leveled up or a friend, and you just ride the prestiges along with them, and that'll be the number one fastest way. Now, if you don't have an alt account or a friend to help you, the fastest method would be to upgrade your best defenses. Now, not all your defenses and not your character gear, because that stuff just doesn't matter. Now, you can get character gear no matter if you built your previous ones and have mods on it. You just don't need that. A gear score doesn't matter when you're going up prestiges. As long as your defenses are just putting out the damage to kill all the lanes, then you're pretty much good. Now, my prestige is 30, floor 30. Yeah, I'm sorry, floor 51 to 80. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll go over my fastest method in this map in this video, and if you have any questions, just feel free to ask. So what I do is I build up uh, two defenses, but just for you know helping you guys out, I'll build three defenses in this video, and in the next video I may build two, um, just to show you a two defense fast build. In this video I already built up my poison dart towers. They are chaos 7. I put the points in it in the ascension. And then just so you know, everything else I have is campaign. All my weapons, everything on every character is campaign. Because like I said, the gear and the gear score just don't matter when you're prestiging. Unless you really care about it, what you could do is pick up the gear from the map and equip it. That's what I do to my barbarian because he's my main DPS, and he's pretty much who I DPS with. I may change from time to time from different characters, but I don't change the gear on the other characters. Um, I built up the flame auras, and I will be building up the weapon manufacturer as well. Um, Let me put a deadly strikes on this, and let me build this up to chaos 7. So once again, I did build three defenses up for this particular video. Most of the time I just do two defenses. And to do this method, you do need the materials. You need plain motes, you need shiny motes, pristine clusters, shiny ruby clusters. What else is there? And gold. Gold is number one if you want to get your prestiges done quickly. Um, so I just build the really quick build. One weapon man node. I'll put two flame ores next to it and a PDT. That should pretty much hold the lane no matter what it is. I'll look at the lanes after if anything seems to be failing or anything like that. And the reason I build it like this is because if there are orcs, they will have to get to the node or the flame ore, whereas if I built it up here, if there were orcs, they would turn this off and then everything would get shut off. So building it this way would just mean that they would have to get to any of these and stand in all three of these defenses at the same time and survive and then hit it. And pretty much they can. This is a much heavier lane right here because it's 2 lanes, so I'll put 2 PDTs there. Um, this is a really heavy lane right here, but I mean, you'd you build whatever defense is up that you know can carry you. Um, so for me, pretty much the weapon man can carry me, my flame aura can carry me, my earth shatter, my what else? My cannonball towers, my PDTs, and you know I change them sometimes so I don't get bored of repetitious floors and builds, and you know it helps me further on uh, increase my knowledge of how I should build lanes later on down the line when there's increased numbers of enemies or uh, lanes that are troublesome. So where would I put the flame wars here? A good place is right here. Can actually put the weapon man node there as well. Another good place is right about here. Um, and orcs shouldn't be able to get to that. I'm just assuming, and maybe they can get to that one, but we'll see. If they do, we'll move it. And just build the map accordingly, as if I'm doing a chaos. Um, Now another thing to note is that you can't build just two defenses up if you don't have the right mods or enough ascension. You may have to go with 3 defenses just for the fact that you didn't find the mods you need or they're not high enough power, like a 7, 8, 9, or 10. Um, so in that case, if all your mods are 7 and 8s, you may want to go with a 3 defense build for your prestiges, or maybe even a 4, but with a 4 or 3, you need double the gold. Um, with a 1 or 2 defense uh, build up during your prestige, you don't need so much gold. So there's that. And as you can see, everything is going just fine. Um, until I died, but pretty much you get the gist of it. Um, I got 2 extra people in here, and come on, ready up, ready up. I guess they're AFK, but all right. So that's another thing. Just bear in mind, if you have people on your map, the enemies do become harder. Um, it just so happened that for me, Captain Dreadbones came in, and he's not so much vulnerable to Weapon Man. So if he ever does come through, any of your lanes, which I think I do have a Captain Dreadbone's lane right over here. He's not too susceptible to getting stunned, so you do have to keep an eye out for that. Well, it's over here, I think, because he's coming out here, but we'll watch the lane and see what happens again. Yeah, as you can see, he just got stunned really quick, and he was like, eh, and now he's running. But his life went, a majority of his life went down enough to the point where you can just hit him up a few times, and that's it. But as for that, once you get past any major bosses, then you're good to go in any map. Oh, I actually got 2 extra people here. Okay, so every extra additional person that's in the map will increase the enemy's health. So that's one thing to remember, and it that can affect how long it takes to prestige as well. So the more health they have, the more your defenses have to work, which means the longer the map will take. So another thing to consider is make sure there's nobody in your map so you can go faster. Unless you're carrying that person or they're carrying you, then an extra minute and a half won't hurt you. Captain Dreadbones again, and this time he appears to have died on his own. And yeah, while you're prestiging, you mainly want to upgrade in the round, not too much when the round is over. Of course, yeah, get a couple upgrades in before you can press that ready up button, because that's the fastest way to upgrade. But if you just ready up right away, every single round, that'll even increase the speed you finish by when you're prestiging as well. Let's get rid of the siege roller. Man, he doesn't seem to be dying, and I can tell you why. Okay, so like I said, my barbarian is my main DPS, and as you can see, that siege roller just wasn't taking that much damage, and this is the reason why. All his gear is campaign. Like I did say, everything is campaign. So, you know, this isn't my main gear for the barbarian, so what I'll do is I usually keep those weapons because I don't change the weapons. I like the mods on there, but the gear itself, I press auto equip, so I'll pick that chest up. This is only the third wave, so much stuff hasn't dropped, but after the time you're done the first map, you should have enough gear to bring the health up of your main DPS person and the attack. So I guess I just found that chest piece auto equip. The chest piece is on. My gear score went up to 1,600.
Hey, can you help me please? In trash and need help.
Hey, if you're on my live stream and you just said you need help, just add me. My name is MilArmy455. I am going through the prestige thing right now, but you can add me and maybe I can help you out a little bit. Uh, I picked the flame mowers because my flame mowers, when they're built at base, they're a million. PDTs at base, they're um, 3.19. And what else do I have here? The weapon man. The weapon mans are support defense, so they're not really there for, you know, killing the enemy. Yes, they do damage. Before the Protean Shift update, when there were no mods, the weapon man, you just place it down and it didn't stun. So basically, it was just like a carpet that you put down, and it does a little DPS while they walk on it, which is pretty awesome. And then when they added the Shocking Revelation mod to it, that just made it even more better. Um, but just keep in mind, the weapon man is not there for killing your enemies. They can kill at lower levels and medium levels, but when you get to those higher onslaught floors, you gotta remember, they're not gonna be killing your enemies. They're just gonna hold up your enemies to give your defenses more time to attack.
I sent.
Yeah, I got that request from you, man. I'll be adding you here in a second.
And what are ancient powers?
Ancient powers are just basically it's extra power that you get when you prestige. Um, Now, if you're a new player, you really don't have to worry about getting ancient power too quickly. I would recommend you to get a minimum ascension level of about 400 if you're really eager to prestige. I would say get a minimum ascension of 400. Now, your main ascension and your minimum ascension is two different things. Um, your
21 and level 110.
Your current ascension is what you see in that little circle next to your character on the screen, and your minimum ascension is what you see in your powers tab in the start menu in your inventory.
Oh.
To get a minimum score, minimum ascension of 400, you do need to go up to about floor, I'd say 50 to get that. And to get a minimum of 1,000,
looks like you're at 4821 Omo.
You would have to go up to about floor 110. Alright, so this is the closing of Chaos 5 and Chaos 5. Wave 5 of floor 51. Now the geodes and shield enemies, you do need a piercer. If you don't use piercer, you do need to build your weapon mans far enough ahead so that if you have any projectile defenses going to your geodes, it doesn't bounce back, because it'll knock the geode shield off and your non-piercer defenses can actually hit it. Okay, it looks one boss left, and he's stuck. When they get stuck like that, you pretty much just have to wait. It's not really much you can do. If you can try to hit them, you know, try, but other than them getting stuck, there's not much you can do. You just gotta wait it out until they figure out how to get out the door, or if you knock them behind the map. But with the ascension I have on her, it looks like he's dying. Slowly but surely. Alright. And he's a goner. Let's get this chest. And right there is that's the fast method to prestige, or prestiging if you're doing it multiple times. Upgrade one, 2 or 3 things depending on your material supply and your gold. Go up to your prestiging floor and prestige again, and repeat. Yeah, it's just like a rinse repeat thing. And thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments section. I'll be sure to answer it. And if you have any other video suggestions, let me know. I'll make it. Thank you guys, and I'm out of here.